We are hearing Bhaktyaloka, which is a book of 12 essays written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura in relation to the 6 folds mentioned in 2nd verse of Upadeshamrita and 6 qualities for devotion mentioned in 3rd verse of Upadeshamrita. Yesterday we started. We heard about Atyahara. It does not mean only overeating, but over collecting of anything with wrong motive and for personal enjoyment that will destroy devotion. And it was mentioned how devotees should live in this world by practicing Jukta Vairagya, proper renunciation, seeing all things in relation to Krishna, meant for him, and utilizing for his service. Then 2nd fault, which will destroy bhakti, is prayas. If one does not give prayas, bhakti will not manifest. The word prayas means exertion or labor. Nothing is called spiritual except pure bhakti to the Lord. One cannot explain bhakti by any other quality than surrender and obedience at the Lord's feet. Surrender and obedience to the Lord is the natural, eternal dharma of the jiva. Thus, bhakti is the jiva's natural propensity or natural dharma. It is not necessary to endeavor for the natural dharma. Like for example, heat is the natural dharma of fire, and he does not need to do any effort for that to produce heat. It is natural. Like that, devotion is. Thus, bhakti is the jiva's natural propensity or natural dharma. It is not necessary to endeavor for the natural dharma. Like our Gurudev gave that example. It is from Bhaktivinoda Thakura in Krishna Sanhita. He wrote, like it is the natural dharma of iron to be attracted to magnet, and the magnet's natural dharma to be to attract the iron. By nature it is like that is dharma. In Jaiva Dharma, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that dharma is the inseparable thing of an object, which qualifies certain object is by its natural dharma. So it is not necessary to endeavor for the natural dharma. However, in his conditioned state, the jiva must endeavor to some extent to deliberate on the function of bhakti. Other than this general endeavor, whatever other endeavors are seen are unfavorable for bhakti. Our Gurudev explained, but when there is rust on the iron, then that natural dharma of iron is not evident. So, endeavor is that sadhana bhakti, which will remove that rust so that natural dharma will manifest. We heard that verse, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kavanvai, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Koroyudai. This eternal Krishna Prema is not to be produced and it is not to be gotten. It is eternally perfected in the jiva. But in conditioned state, it is covered or unmanifest or dormant, sleeping. So by sadhana bhakti, Shravanadi, Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran, in purified heart, the sadhana bhakti will make it appear, not produced or got, but it will appear. So only this type of endeavor is necessary. Others are unfavorable. for bhakti. There are two types of endeavors. Endeavor for jnana and endeavor for karma. By endeavoring in jnana, one attains realization of pure Advaita, oneness. Only one Brahman exists, Brahma Jyoti, nothing else. Everything is false. That Maya, everything, or any kind of differentiation or speciality or anything, that is all false. It does not exist. Only one Brahman exists, that is oneness. This is also called Sayujya or Brahma Nirvana. Endeavoring for jnana is contrary to the spiritual goal. This is concluded in Mundaka Upanishad. Nayam atma pravachane nalabhyo na medhaya na bahuna shrutena jam evesha vrinudete nalabhyas tasyaisha atma vrinudete nusvam. The Lord cannot be attained by contemplation, by meditation, or by hearing many scriptures. He is attained by the person whom the Lord chooses. And for that person, the Lord reveals his form. Here, this translation is taken from Aranga Ramanuja's commentary. He explained Pravachanena as contemplation, Medaya as meditation, and Bahuna Shrutena is many scriptures. In Gauriya Vaishnava line, we hear that Atma means Paramatma in here, Supreme Lord, cannot be attained by Pravachanena, means speaking lectures, nor by Medaya, not by great intelligence, nor by knowing many scriptures, memorizing or understanding. No. Jam evesha vrindatina labhyas. One whom he will choose, he can attain him. To him, he will reveal his eternal form, Tanum Svam. Tanum means body. His own form he will reveal. And in Vedanta Sutra it is shown that whom he will choose, who will surrender to him he will reveal his own form. So that is the only way how one can attain Supreme Lord. Atma here refers to Atma Tattva or Paramatma. The Lord cannot be attained by speaking, intelligence, or great study. You see here, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur's explanation of this verse is given. So this is what we are hearing in Gauriya Vaishnavism and repeating also. The Lord cannot be attained by speaking lectures, intelligence, or great study. The Lord reveals his Swarup to that person who accepts the Lord as his master. Thus, bhakti is the only cause of attaining the Lord's lotus feet. Brahma says to Krishna in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, Jnane prayasam udapasya namanta eva jivanti san mukaritam bhavadiya vartam stane stita shruti gatam tanu van manubir ye prayasho jita jitopi asitais lokyam. Those who, even while remaining situated in their established social positions, throw away the process of jnana and with their body, words and mind offer all respects to the descriptions of your personality and activities, dedicating their lives to these narrations, which are vibrated by you personally and by your pure devotees, certainly conquer your lordship, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within the three worlds. This is the translation of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. You remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when hearing this verse from Raya Ramananda, he said, yes, I agree to this. Means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching starts from this point. No any karma, varnasham, dharma, then offering results, then jnana mishra, no. Mahaprabhu's teaching starts here. You give up all other endeavors, only you have to hear Harikatha from pure devotee. In whatever situation you are in your life, it doesn't matter. Just you hear Harikatha and dedicate your life to that Harikatha or follow that Harikatha, then you can conquer Supreme Lord, who is otherwise unconquerable, because he is supreme. No one is equal or more than him. So how anyone can attain? It is only by his will. So those who will act according to his will, then he will reveal himself. Here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj, following the maybe Sridhar Swami's explanation, that in any status of life, it doesn't matter. Sthana sthitam. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said that sthana sthitam means you should go to that place, or you should remain in that place where Harikatha is going on. That is the proper place. Because before, Raya Ramananda said you have to follow Varnasham Dharma, then offer results, then Jnana, all different statuses there. But here, it doesn't matter wherever, because the only thing you have to hear Harikatha and Sanmukaritam from the mouth of pure devotee. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's process starts here, because he came and he gave this sadhu sangha, from whom we can hear Bhagavad Gita. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it is written that Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu appeared in this world with two gifts. One is Bhakta Bhagavat, another is Grantha Bhagavat. Devotee Bhagavat and scripture Bhagavat, Srimad Bhagavatam. Immediately he gave this, so immediately all jivas, they can start practicing devotion. That is his mercy. O Ajita, one who cannot be conquered. Those who give up endeavors at jnana and taking devotees association, hear your topics from the mouth of devotees and take shelter of the path of bhakti using body, mind and words, they conquer you in the three worlds. Brahma clarifies the meaning of endeavors for jnana. Shreya sritim bhakti mudasya te vibho klishyanti ye kevala bodha labdaye tesham aso kleshala eva shishyate nanyat yatha stula tushava ghatinam. My dear Lord, first translation is given by the translator and then explanation by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. My dear Lord, Bhakti unto you is the best path for self-realization. If someone gives up that path and engages in the cultivation of jnana, he will simply undergo a troublesome process and will not achieve his desired result. As a person who beats an empty husk of wheat cannot get grain, one who simply speculates cannot achieve self-realization. His only gain is trouble. This is translation by Srila A.C. Bhakti Sai Maharaj. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakura is saying, O Lord, Bhakti alone is the path of auspiciousness for the jiva. Giving this up, persons who endeavor for attaining realization of Kevala Advaita attain only suffering. Kevala Advaita means exclusive oneness, that Brahma Jyoti, Brahman Satya Jagat Mithya, that type of realization, they attain only suffering. Just as beating empty husk does not yield rice, so endeavors of Kevala Advaita yield no spiritual result. No spiritual result here means the devotion to Krishna, which can actually feed you. Food for Jiva, Jivatma, is devotion to Paramatma. By that he can be happy. Raso Vaisakh. That verse, when Jiva attains Rasa, who is Supreme Lord, then he becomes blissful. And our Gurudev said, this body requires food and these things for sustenance. But food for Atma, sustenance, is Atma. Spiritual. And he quoted from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Atma va are drashtabhyo, shrotabhyo, mantabhyo, nididhyasitabhyo. O Jiva, you should see Supreme Lord. It is your duty. Drashtabhyo, it should be done. Drashtabhyo, shrotabhyo, you should hear about him. Mantabhyo, you should think about him. And nididhyasitabhyo, you should meditate on him. It is your requirement. So, like one is beating the empty husk, he will not get any food. Like that, if someone practices jnana to attain that Kevala Advaita realization, he will not get food for the soul. Only he will get some release from this worldly suffering temporarily, but no positive gain, no fulfillment of heart. So no rice, no actual food. Kevala Advaita is not based on truth. It is a demonic arrangement. On the other hand, what is praised as Sambandha Gyan is pure and natural. Some other translators, they say, it is arrangement for demons to bewilder them, that Kevala Advaita. It is not based on truth. It is not that only Brahma Jyoti exists and this Maya is false. That is not truth. Truth is Brahma Jyoti is coming from Krishna, Supreme Lord. And this Maya is existing, but is temporary. But it is real. So this is Sambandha Gyan, who is ultimate reality is Krishna, omnipotent Bhagavan, with all potencies. Paramatma is his partial manifestation. Brahma Jyoti is his light. And this world is Shakti of Krishna, and Jiva is also Shakti. Shakti Parinamava. This is Sambandha Gyan. That Kevala Advaita is not based on absolute truth. Here it is translated as it is a demonic arrangement. Or some translate it is meant for demons, to bewilder them, because they are averse to Krishna. So on the other hand, what is praised as Sambandha Gyan is pure and natural. It is not necessary to endeavor for it. The Jnana mentioned in the Chatushloki of Bhagavatam, 4 verses of Bhagavatam, Supreme Lord says to Brahma, before creation, I was there. During creation, I am there. After destruction, I will be there. And other things. Those 4 verses we heard. So this Chatu Shloki is Achintya Beda Abeda Gyan. Knowledge of inconceivable, simultaneous difference and non-difference between Shaktiman, Supreme Lord, and his Shaktis. That Jnana is naturally present in the heart of the Jiva. The Lord is a spiritual sun, and the Jiva is a particle in his ray. They're inseparable, not different, but at the same time different. The Jiva does not remain in his Swarup unless he follows the Lord and serves the Lord. His Swadharma is to be servant of the Lord. Cultivating that Swadharma is the Jiva's nature. That is the natural dharma of the Jiva, devoid of endeavor. For Jnana, you have to endeavor, and for karma. But for this, it is not necessary to endeavor. But only we have to give that effort to awaken it. Because we became averse. Here it says, Jiva cannot remain in his Swarup unless he follows the Lord. If someone does not want to serve Krishna, then he will Swarup Brahma will happen. Mistake about Swarup, who am I and what is my duty? Maya will catch you and give you wrong identity. Though this Swadharma, servitude to Krishna, is dormant in the Jiva's conditioned state and is awakened by sadhana, bhakti, one does not endeavor in sadhana bhakti as one does in jnana kanda and karma kanda. If one takes shelter of the Lord's name with a little respect, some other translator they gave with some respect, little or some, with just little respect, in a short time the obstacle of ignorance will disappear and the happiness of Swadharma will again arise. But if one makes Jnana prominent, one suffers greatly. That is difficult process and long time to attain. And also once you attain, there is no benefit in positive benefit. Again, if one gives up Jnana by devotee association, activities of bhakti appear, like Shukadev Goswami, realized Jnani. But by Bhagavatam's verse, he heard, and also getting association of Vyasadeva, he gave up Gyan and accepted devotion to Supreme Lord. The Lord says in Gita, Mai avesha mano ye mam nitya yukta upasate shradaya para yopeta ste me yukta tama mata. I consider those who worship me, desiring to associate with me constantly, absorbing their minds in me, endowed with faith beyond the gunas, to be the best knowers of yoga. Someone will say, no, I know 33 kinds of asanas in yoga. Someone will say, I did pranayama for 4 hours together. Or I was staring at the candle. I was fully concentrated. So they will have that pride. I know yoga. But here Krishna, Yogeshwara, is saying, who are the best knowers of yoga? Those who worship me, desiring to associate with me constantly, absorbing their minds in me, endowed with faith beyond the gunas, are the best knowers of yoga. This is transcendental Shraddha. Someone may have polluted material Shraddha, tamasic, sattvic, rajasic. Tamasic will have Shraddha in some tamoguni demigod and will have certain desires why he is worshipping. Someone in Rajaguna, he will have faith in Brahma, he will worship him for producing many things, creation. And someone will worship Vishnu, but for the sake of Satya Guna benefits or liberation, but that is not transcendental faith beyond the gunas. So pure devotee is the best knower of yoga. Ye tvaksharam anirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gam achintam chakutastam achalam dhruvam saniyam yendriya gramam sarvatra samabudaya te prapnuvanti mam eva sarvabhuta hiteratha. Gita. But those who worship the unnamed, formless entity, all pervading in space and time, the inconceivable, unchanging, eternal Brahman, completely subduing their senses, looking on all things equally, intent on the welfare of all, also attain me alone, in the form of impersonal Brahman. Klesho dikataras tesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukham dehavadabhir avapyate. Those who are attached to the impersonal realization encounter extreme difficulties. Attaining the imperceptible, formless entity brings suffering to those who have bodies. This is great endeavor. So they have this conception that supreme reality is that unnamed, impersonal, formless, well, that Brahman, but that Brahman takes the form of Hanuman, Krishna, Ramchandra, Durga, Shiva, Kali, anyone. So you just worship anyone because they are all one, that Brahman, in this form. So if you want this, you go to this deity. If you want this, you go to that deity. So they have such conception. And or someone is totally ignorant of anything spiritual. So if you tell them in the first meeting, you tell them that in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's school, Manjari Bhav is our goal, then what they will think? How they can understand? How they can understand? They will think, oh, yes, Radharani, because they said Radharani is also one god, one goddess. Like if you want money, you go to Lakshmi. If you want this, you go to Shiva. If you want to go to Durga. Radharani also one goddess. If you want love, you go Radharani, to go to Radharani. So, maid servant of Radharani. So what they will understand? Manjari means, yes, we will become servant of Radharani. It is the same as if I will become servant of Hanuman for some benefit, or if I will become servant of Shiva for some benefit, for health, or some god or anyone, because they're all Brahman, different forms, different benefits you will get. So from Radharani also we will get something. So this is the goal of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, they will think, Manjari Bhav. And because we directly and openly we have to say, this is the ultimate goal, Manjari Bhav. But what they will understand about Manjari Bhav, if people have such conception, or one totally new, what he will understand, what is Manjari Bhav? You have to, it is true that Mahaprabhu came to give Manjari Bhav, but you have to properly train people that they will understand. Gradually, according to first class, you have to teach first class lesson, then second class like this. What is the use of telling what is in the university at the end, that diploma, what you will get? They cannot understand anything. How, or they will misunderstand. Once I tried to explain about that one should not blame others because everyone is reaping the fruits of their action, according to the law of karma given by Krishna. And someone, like some follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told me, don't speak this topic. This is too much basic. We are only interested in this Ras Leela, Manjari Bhav, all this. This is all too much basic. But it is very interesting that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to attain love of Radharani, to taste love of Radharani, and also Manjari Bhav in Chaitanya Charitamrita in some places. It is very interesting why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so many times heard these basic topics of not blaming others in Dhruva Charita. Why? It's very strange, these basic topics. The thing is because we are not following basic topics. We are only enjoying Harikatha, not hearing in order to apply in our life. So such things are happening. So many Apasampradayas, they say we are teaching Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but not doing according to actual teaching of Mahaprabhu, then so many things there. Then how you will attain that gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu if you are not following his process? Why Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave so much effort, Rupa Goswami gave so much effort, all Goswamis, Acharyas, they give so much effort to explain what is devotion and how one can attain it gradually according to his level of advancement. But we made it easy now. We made it easy. Only you love Guru and Guru will give you Manjari Bhav, finish. It's over. Oh, no problem. No need to read any book. No need to hear any instruction from Guru, Rupa Goswami. No need. Although, yes, he wrote many books, but no need for that. Now, no need. Because already we got that and fine. So what to do? But Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining here, those persons who worship me while having faith endowed with surrender are yuktatama, most engaged. Those who worship the Brahman, which is undecaying, undefinable, unmanifest, all-pervading, inconceivable, fixed, immovable, and steady, along with sense control and seeing everything as equal, are persons endeavoring in jnana. If they show compassion to all beings, they attain me, Krishna, by the mercy of devotees, after enduring much suffering. In such worship there is much suffering and plenty of delay. This is the path of endeavoring in jnana. Jnana, and also you have like worshippers of many demigods like in karma. So you worship demigod but to get something. So if someone is having such conception, that is not actually devotion. Outwardly it is devotion, but it is for some fulfillment. Oh, Durga, you give me this, give me this, give me this. If you want this, you should. There is one deity especially for curing cholera, and some deity for this. So we are approaching them. What for? To get something. We are not approaching to serve them. That is the difference between kama and bhakti. So if I am full in kama and having this conception of spirituality, it exists. God exists, all goddesses, all everything exists for fulfillment of my desires. Then if to such a person who is full of kama, you say that ultimate goal, directly you say ultimate goal is Manjari Bhav, then what they will understand? Yes, I will serve Radharani. What I will get from Radharani, what I will get. This natural, this will happen. Or someone will think, yes, I will worship, I will serve Radharani, my servant, so that ultimately I can attain to Nirguna Brahman. Because they have no basis of what is devotion. That is why Rupa Goswami gave definition of devotion. Anya Bilasita Shunyam Jnana Karma Dhyanavritam Anukulena Krishna Vishnu Bhakti Uttama. Then Sarvapadi Vinirmuktam Tatparatanam Hrishkena Hrishke Sevanam Seva. So how they will understand what is Manjari Bhav? Even devotion of Dhruva we are unable to understand and practice. What to speak of that? Seva. And immediately you have to decide for this. Because why? Because this is highest. Endeavoring in karma never yields beneficial results. This is explained in the first canto of Bhagavatam. Dharma svanushtitah pungsham vishvakshena katasuya not padayat yadiratim shrama eva hi kevalam. From Bhagavatam. Varna ashram dharma of the human being, which does not produce attraction for the topics of the Lord, is only wasted effort. This is karma. Before we heard about jnana. So we should not accept this kind of endeavor. Dharma here means one's swadharma in karma kanda within varna ashram. Swadharma here means if I am in Satyaguna, then I'm Brahmin, so I have my Brahminical duties. If I'm in Rajaguna, Kshatriya. If in Raja Tamaguna, Vaishya. If Tamaguna, Shudra. So that is my Swadharma, my nature. So if that Swadharma, though performed expertly, does not produce attraction for hearing about the Lord, then maintaining that Swadharma becomes mere exertion or labor. No benefit. Just as endeavors of jnana are contrary to bhakti, so are endeavors of karma. The conclusion is that endeavors of karma and jnana are very unbeneficial. But if a devotee accepts karma characterized by varna ashram dharma with the intention of maintaining his life, that is included in bhakti, being favorable for bhakti. Yesterday we heard in that Atyahara, if devotee does work as per varna ashram dharma, but with this proper view, it is by the mercy of Krishna I can work. All objects are mercy of Krishna. I am not these objects with detachment. These objects are to be used for the service of Krishna, including my body, mind, and everything. So I'm accepting his mercy in order to maintain my life of devotion for him, that is bhakti. All those karmas are no longer called karma because they are not done with wrong ego, but with real ego. I am eternal servant of Krishna and I am now living in this world, so I will maintain my life by Krishna's mercy for his service. Among them, the Swanishta devotees arrange for karma and its result to follow bhakti. Yes, the Swanishta devotees arrange for karma, that work, and its result, the result of karma, money, rice, dal, to follow bhakti. That is Swanishta. This is also in Vedanta Sutra. It is these terms are there: Swanishta, Parinishtita, and Nirapeka. The Parinishtita devotees perform karmas which are not contrary to bhakti in order to teach people. It is not necessary for them, but they still do, to teach other people who are Swanishtas, first stage. Nirapeksha devotees give up teaching people and accept the actions favorable for bhakti. Attempts at jnana and attempts at impersonal liberation of merging into Brahman within jnana are very contrary to bhakti. There is no service there. If endeavors for Ashtanga Yoga aim at siddhis, mystic powers, and merging, that is also very contrary to bhakti. The rules for bhakti and sambandha gyan with achintya beda abeda are devoid of endeavor, prayas, for the jiva, since they are very natural to the jiva. Karma and jnana are acknowledged only as methods, never as a goal. Goal, what they achieve, is different from the method. If they are accepted as the goal, they produce fault. Because if you do jnana, a result should be liberation. Then there is no more action. And karma also, you do karma to get the fruit of enjoyment in this world and in heaven, heavenly planets. So means is different from the goal. But as we will see, this will be shown when considering niyamagraha later on, how they are niyamagraha, karma and jnana. Attempting to go to tirthas, holy places, is also an endeavor contrary to bhakti, if you do it with a view for attaining some pious merit or for removal of sins. This Narottam Thakur also sang in that song. But to do parikrama of holy places, to get remembrance of Krishna and to worship him, to hear about him, that is different. If, however, one goes to, here Bhaktivinoda Thakur saying, if, however, one goes to the places of Krishna's pastimes out of greed to cultivate intensely bhava, that love for Krishna, and to gain association of devotees, it becomes bhakti. It is not useless endeavor. All the vratas which are angas of bhakti are not useless endeavors. Ekadashi brata, Kartik brata, Purushottam brata, other bratas also. They are not useless endeavors. They are respected among the methods for producing bhakti. The endeavor to serve Vaishnavas is not a useless endeavor, since greed to associate with like-minded devotees destroys the fault of attachment to bad association. If you associate with devotees, then you will lose taste for bad association. Endeavors on the path of archana deity worship are natural dharma of the heart, just like breathing is. Efforts at Sankirtan are only chanting the Lord's name while revealing the heart. Thus, bhakti is very natural. Endeavors at vairagya are not necessary, since with the manifestation of bhakti, lack of thirst and everything else naturally arises in the jiva. Lack of thirst for non-eternal things automatically is, when you get higher taste, you lose lower taste. So no need to separately endeavor for vairagya. It will automatically happen when you become more and more attached to Krishna. But what we have to give up is those things which are unfavorable in cultivating our attachment to Krishna. That we have to practice. But not like Shushka Vairagya, the dry Vairagya, to renounce everything. Because it is non-eternal and its attachment produces suffering. No. Devotees also practice Vairagya, but Jukta Vairagya, that which is like, now I'm not liberated soul, so I have to practice service to Krishna. So certain things are displeasing to Krishna, and they are obstacles in cultivating sadhana bhakti. So those things one has to give up. Those 4 places of kali, intoxication, illicit sex, all this. But you will find some so-called gurus, they will never explain these things. Because they know then they cannot get many people to follow them. They allow everything, you will do anything. They only want to have followers so that they can get money and name and fame. So they don't prescribe these things. Means they are not serving Krishna. By this also you can recognize who is bona fide guru and who is not. Bhagavatam says, yes, lack of thirst in everything else naturally arises in the jiva. Since with the manifestation of bhakti, and that is giving fulfillment in heart, lack of thirst in everything else, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim kuvita, I don't want anything, naturally arises in the jiva. When you come to the stage of ruchi, then this is the expression. I don't want the money, followers, liberation, name and fame, nothing. I only, even liberation I don't want. If I have to take birth, no problem. But I want devotion to Krishna. Bhagavatam says, Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahvaitukam. Bhakti dedicated to Lord Krishna, endowed with special moods, quickly produces detachment from material goals and knowledge of the Lord, devoid of desire for liberation. When bhakti is dedicated to Vasudeva, Vairagya, devoid of endeavor for jnana, indicating eternally accomplished service to the Lord, quickly arise. Thus, rejecting endeavors of jnana and endeavors of karma and vairagya, when one practices bhakti, jnana, karma, yoga and vairagya, which obstruct bhakti, do not come and degrade the jiva. So we should not follow any other processes of elevation. It is unnecessary. It is obstacle for devotees. Those who have awakened faith in Krishna, they should only follow this endeavor to please Krishna, nothing else. if they are qualified for bhakti and they will do anything else, that will be obstacle to their endeavor for bhakti. They will lose time and it will take them to other goals, so that should be given up. Bhagavatam Das says, Bhakti pareshanubhavo viraktir anyatra chaisha trika eka kala. Devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord, and detachment from other things, these three occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of Krishna. This is from that verse, like someone eating, three things will happen automatically, like if someone does devotion, but proper devotion with surrender, our Gurudev made point. Then these three things will happen. Gurudev said, if we don't see this result, but someone doing so much bhajan, so-called bhajan, we can understand by the fruit that there is lack of surrender in his practice. He's not actually surrendered to Krishna. He's doing for some other motives. With wrong ego and with wrong motives he's doing. That is why these results are not visible. Though outwardly we see so much devotion he's doing. That is not. By the fruit you can understand. So if someone is getting these results, it means he is doing devotion properly. If not, there is some defect in devotion. Sometimes we are not able to detect ourselves. Like when I'm sick, I don't know what is wrong with me. I only see some symptoms. So I have to go to doctor, he will check me, then he will say, yes, this is the problem. Like that, we have to go to pure devotee, guru or pure devotee, sadhu, and openly confess and reveal this is happening. Then he will see, yes, here is the defect. This you have to rectify. Then you will get proper result. From this statement, it may be concluded that a person who performs pure bhakti manifests simultaneously bhakti, sambandha gyan, and vairagya. When the devotee with humility and sincerity chants Krishna's name and remembers his name, then naturally he develops intelligence which thinks, I am a spiritual particle, Krishna's servant. Krishna is my master. My nature is to surrender to Krishna's lotus feet. This world is my transitional abode. Attached to any object here does not bring happiness to me. By this, the sadhaka quickly attains all perfection. Endeavors for jnana, karma, yoga, liberation, bhoga, samsara, and association with materialists are all contrary to the sadhaka who takes shelter of the name. So tomorrow we will further hear. So if someone chants the name with faith and humility, then this realization of Sambandha Gyan will appear in his heart. Who is Krishna? Who am I? What is this world? What I have to do? What I have to attain? What is the obstacle? Everything will be revealed in your heart by the grace of name of Krishna, who is like a sun. He would reveal everything. A sun lights everything daytime. Then you will also understand that my only endeavor should be to cultivate devotion to Krishna. No any other endeavor is necessary. It is contrary. It is obstacle. And any other materialistic association, that is all obstacle to my what is required, what I require. Yes. So tomorrow we will further hear in this prayasa.